I would like to hear a little bit about the grass.
So we have dog parks throughout, and the biggest challenge is that it's difficult to grow grass. I mean, you can sod or seed and close the area for X amount of time, and definitely it'll look pretty for the first couple of days. And then after that, it's just gonna wear out, and it's gonna go back to its original state. So it's really throwing money at something that you can't really control. Because it's gonna continue to wear out. I mean, you guys are dog owners. I own a dog. I had a beautiful backyard. Now it's gone. So I've got sprinklers. So all I do is dust control. I make sure that my sprinklers turn on so that at least the ground is moist, so that when he runs around, he doesn't kick up dust. But as far as keeping a beautiful backyard, I've sort of kind of given up on that because there's just no way. I mean, it'll look good if I resod or seed, but then I got to put the dog away for 2-3 months so that grass can establish. Once I let him out, then he'll enjoy it, and then it'll wear out again.
Is that what happened in Pasadena? Because they have such gorgeous grass in their park, and have since I can remember. So I wonder what they do there. I mean, it's...
Well, it's like with soccer fields, they have to close off the park and reseed and let it grow, and then they come and play soccer.
It's the same approach, exactly.
Yeah,
and then the biggest challenge that we have, and it sort of applies to the dog park as well. When we reseed or we refurbish a soccer field, everybody is anxious to get back on the field. And without a doubt, once you reseed, probably within about a month, the park or grounds look gorgeous. But that's just from an aesthetic point of view. As far as the actual root system developing deep enough to withstand traffic, that's not the case. But everybody wants to go out there and kick the ball or play baseball. Like, hey, you know what? I've got a permit and I got a soccer team. We're anxious to use the field. But the earlier you get on there, the less of an opportunity that you're going to give that grass to establish.
We know of a special grass, kikuyu grass?
That's exactly what I had.
Oh, okay.
So kikuyu is a good grass because it trails.
Okay.
But nonetheless, you need to give it a break. I mean, and a lot of people compare our fields to a premier field where it's fenced in and you have control, site control, and that's the difference. At Rec and Parks, it's a park where anybody can come and use the field. Sometimes you have permitted groups, and when the permitted groups are not there, and you take your family to a barbecue or a picnic, nothing prevents you from kicking the ball around or playing catch or what have you. So what ends up happening is, before you know it, you wear out the field. But I mean, I've been to other cities where you're like, man, they have beautiful baseball fields and soccer fields, but they only limit you the time to play there, and you got to be on a permit basis only. And if you're out there, they can even catch you on a baseball field kicking a soccer ball. They're going to come out and say, hey, you know what? You need to leave the premises. City of Los Angeles is a big city. A lot of people don't have a backyard or a front yard, so where do they go? The closest recreation center. So there's a lot of wear and tear on our fields, and that's what happens. We close them down certain periods of the year, and not long enough. And I'll be honest with you, they're not closed long enough. But we do make an effort to have at least some type of turf so that whether it's a dog owner or whether it's a family that can come and enjoy the park. But that's our biggest challenge, is to be able to keep an aesthetic pleasing baseball field or soccer field. That's because of the challenge of wear and tear, and that's just LA for you.
So what's your proposal?
As far as?
Well, if the grass is really too much maintenance requirement to really keep it up, what do you propose?
I would say that we go with the irrigation system, upgrade the irrigation system, bring in that purple line, make sure there's enough water pressure, that there's head-to-head coverage, and just make sure that the dog park is being irrigated properly so that there's enough moisture to keep dust control down. Over at Silver Lake Park, what we do periodically is we'll take a drag mat and we'll drag the field of the park just to make sure it stays somewhat smooth. And that's what we do to keep a smooth area for whether it's the dog owners or whether it's the dogs for enjoyment. But as far as trying to grow turf, it's definitely going to be a challenge. It's really kind of throwing money away. I mean, it looked nice for a couple of weeks, and after it opens up, it's going to wear out. And that's just my experience in the last years of dealing with dog parks.
Thank you.
So that's just kind of a reality you're preparing
It's
us for.
reality, and I think
It'll look really pretty at first.
We need to be honest, and
then,
we need to be transparent. That definitely it'll look beautiful for the first couple of weeks, but it's going to wear out. It's going to wear out. There's just no way around it.
So it's kind of stepping back a little bit. we did, Chris looked at this, the plan, this original idea, and kind of came up with what was that going to cost, you know? So, and that was going to be close to about $267,000, and that didn't even include shade structures either. So, which would have been
That was for what?
for this plan would have been $269,000.
Oh, okay.